Hospitality is simply an opportunity to show love and care. Today we are exploring the exquisite Avani Hotel, and we can't wait to take you inside and show you what this property has to offer. Only on your favorite property show, My.na Property, with your favorite girl, Aina Raiza Quayle. They say that hotels offer luxury, refuge, and a temporary escape from daily life. Today, I am here sitting pretty at Avani Hotel, and joining me right now is Mr. Takuzwa Nyandoro. He is the General Manager of Avani Hotel, and he's going to be talking to us about how exquisite this property is and everything around it. How are you doing?
I am doing very, very well, ma'am. Thank you so much for the welcome, and thank you so much as well to giving us a visit.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. Now, Avani has been around for quite some time. I don't even remember with the first time I came to Avani, because in my mind it has existed. It has been around. Talk
Absolutely.
to us about some of your successes over the years.
I think just to give you a background, we've been in existence as a property, or at least as a building, since the 1960s.
Oh, wow.
So there is something about, a building that has been, that long into the city, and I think it's had a connection as far as Windhoek is concerned and the rest of the country. So you can imagine that over the 60s, over the 70s, this building would have seen a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of different people would have come through, a lot of things would have happened, and obviously the biggest event as far as this country is concerned is in 1990, when this country becomes independent. But yet the story continued beyond that particular time. Different ownerships, where it came from Sun International, and then finally in 2014, as a matter of fact, it was acquired from My.na International and became an Avani Windhoek branded hotel.
Oh, wow.
And we've been in business for about 10 years at this
And you're
at this
still
juncture.
going strong.
And we're still going strong. So that's just a bit of the history of who we are. Over the years, especially as far as this past 10 years that have occurred, we have succeeded in being the #1 hotel on TripAdvisor.
Nice.
So meaning that it's guests. So it's not just TK who's saying that we are the best at what we do, but we succeeded in becoming the #1 hotel in this city. Especially among all the other hotels, big hotels that are among us. And that's on TripAdvisor, that's on Google reviews, and that's a real accomplishment as far as our people are concerned. And when I'm talking about our people, I'm really talking about our employees.
Yeah.
Being able to serve the customer better than our competition with the sincerity that has led us to be who we are. Through that period as well, we've managed to be financially quite successful.
Yeah.
Even through COVID, while we had elements of some retrenchments and what happened, but we held on to as many jobs as we can, and that's a success on its own, that we're able to still be an employer of choice and develop really, really good people. And with that is the flow of great service and the financial success I think that we've been able to have and been able to accomplish over the past 10 years.
Oh, wow. Congratulations on all that success, man. Let's talk about the location of Avani. What makes it unique, and why do you think it's so desirable for Avani to be situated? I think this is central business town. Yeah.
I think it's in two phases. Maybe I'm a bit more poetic about things that sometimes don't require too much poetry, but that's just who I am. I think if you work in hotels, it's not just about what you serve as far as food is concerned, or a room or a casino. You really serve a story. So there's a story that's even connected, I think, to me. #1, I think the centrality of us being in the heart of Windhoek and in the heart of the rest of the country says something as far as the importance of this building. Right now, you just said that you grew up and you've always known that there's an Avani. There's always been a Kalahari, maybe 10 years past, and that there's a deep cultural centrality as far as what this building is concerned and what this hotel has been. So on one side is the centrality from a business hub element. Windhoek is the economic and political capital of the country, and with that is the understanding that money is an economic, and our economic aspirations as a country, as a city, are realized right at the center of it, and Windhoek and our building is at the center of it. But on the other side as well is the fact that any tourist, leisure tourist, adventure tourist, whoever wants to explore our great country, there's a centrality in terms of north, south, west, east that starts off here at this platform, and that centrality really makes us to be a heart of the city and the heart of the country, and that's my own unique element as far as why we're so central, why we're so important, and why we want to continue to be important to the rest of our country.
Awesome. Let's talk about the interior design of Avani. What is the inspiration behind the architectural design? Maybe you can walk us through the inside, the outside, interior, exterior, everything that makes Avani's property so beautiful.
Oh, excellent. I mean, once again, in terms of just a little bit of a history, we went through quite an extensive reorganization of the entire property. So we're not what we used to look like, and yet we're still the same. Not what we used to look like 5 years ago, 7 years ago. There's a difference. So we've had quite significant renovations that we've had. So firstly, when you enter into from Independence Street, you notice that there's a new lobby that has been there, very different from what it used to be about 7 years ago, where there were other shops, as a matter of fact, at that particular time. When you go right up to this venue, Stratos, the largest, the highest situated restaurant and bar in the city, and it's why you can see all of Windhoek and all of its glory and all of its uniqueness, from a quite a high vantage portion. But we're then looking as far as integrating that element of being in Stratos in a high vintage place, and yet still have an element of elegance where people can connect, people can talk, and people can just be human. And I mean, the largest expression as far as being human is to enjoy life. And that's really what we're aiming to express in all the designs that we have. Very uniqueness, looking for little bits of arts that have got a meaning connected to humanness and creating spaces for human beings to be human.
Absolutely love that. So how does then Avani balance modern living with the character of Windhoek, with the personalities of its customers and the people that are attracted, or that Avani is trying to attract?
I think a basis, I mean, a hotel really is, if you want to almost make it too basic, from the outside, it's bricks and mortar. But what really then truly makes it a space where people can do business, people can connect, people can want to come there, is really the people in it. And for us, our employees, our team members really make everything else that we're going to express on the outside. So from who we attract, we know that it is service first. Real passionate element about giving great service, personalized service, being able to connect with every single customer and create a moment of experience where you know that you are in a different space. If it's then going to be about the food that we deliver, it's not just a matter that it's just food that's cooked, but it's really looking as far as what's different, what's innovative, what's that food element that somebody is going to remember. If it's going to be an element of the room itself, it's looking at those small things that really make uniqueness and a great experience, so a great sleep experience. So we're looking at those dynamics in terms of who we are able then to attract, but really at the center of it, it all starts off with the foundation of great people and a great culture who work in it to be able to serve others.
I love that. You spoke about service and the people who work here. What type of services do you offer then at Avani?
So obviously in a hotel, we've got for us especially, it's 3 main service operational elements that we offer. We've got 173 rooms. We in these rooms are the largest among the largest standard room that you can have, that you can stay in. So at 173 rooms as well, we also boast the cleanest rooms over the past 7 years, according to reviews from customers versus our competition.
Nice.
But not only that, we've also over the years been able to do small improvements and incremental improvements to really make those spaces really connective to the guest. Whether you're coming here for business, it becomes a real place where you can have a real rest. Tomorrow morning, a great morning with a great breakfast that you'll be able to have. And those small elements really give, spaces that people get to be in a real comfortable element of service.
Yeah.
But once again, I go back to the element as far as service is concerned. You can have a building, you can even have a fancy Rolls Royce of a property.
Yeah.
But what matters most is human connections.
Yes.
Our people being able to connect to human beings, being able to greet you by name, being able to truly make our guests feel at home when they come here, just from just human interaction and being on the ball every single time in a consistent manner when it comes to service.
Let's talk about, in 2025, everyone is going green. Sustainability.
That's right.
That's the conversation. In terms of sustainability, what has Avani rather implemented any sustainability elements in its property that perhaps you could share with us?
Oh, that's a great question. The reason why that's such an important question, it connects to our values. So central to the Avani ethos, or the My.na international ethos, we are owned by My.na International, is an element of being able to connect to the local spaces and the local communities that we interact in. So that element of understanding that today isn't just today. Today comes tomorrow, and tomorrow comes 2026, 2027, 2030, 2040, and really looking to contribute to the sustainability of existing for more than 20 years, 30 years in. Now, with that is the understanding that the environment that we operate in has to be serviced well. If we're going to operate in that long-term business, the people that we serve have to be served in a way that's sustainable. So from a green element, water conservation has been something that's really, really important to us. So with that is the waterless urinals that we have placed. With that as well is the calculations that we have in every single rooms in order to reduce the amount of water that can be wasted, is the communications that we have on every bathroom as far as, a shower shouldn't take too long, because we are here to conserve as much water as we can. And that education element as far as our guests are concerned. In all of our rooms is a sustainability system where electricity is not going to be used unwarranted. So if the room is empty, everything else in the room goes into a hibernation portion, and that not only allows us to serve on the electricity portion, but also contribute sustainably as well to what is taken from the grid, because we plan to be existing for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And to do that, we understand that we have got to contribute sustainably to our country, to the rest of the globe as well. And I mean, there are several other things really I could really say, from a change from plastic, where we are transitioning from a lot of plastic, one usage plastics to bottles. So for example, you notice that when you go into our conference rooms or in the rooms, we've got bottled water, and that just gives us that element of being sustainable instead of single-use plastics.
All right, Mr. TK, we'll be right back, and then we'll continue our conversation. Stick around.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
We're still continuing the conversation with Mr. TK, who is the General Manager of Avani Hotel. So let's talk about who this place is designed for. Who's your typical target audience or target market?
I think it's really important that from a definition portion, our target market, because we are Namibian, is other Namibians.
Yeah.
And centrally because My.na International and Avani, like we spoke about before, is that the importance of connecting to local communities and serving local communities is really fundamental, to us. So the first person that we aim to attract, the first person that we aim to serve, is really the Namibian market, and that's our largest pull factor. This is also in the understanding of the restaurants that we have, whether it's going to be the stratos, like you see, very wide environment, or sometimes it can be a coffee in pantry, overlooking a bit of the city with a bit of cosmopolitan vibe, and where we can see the movement of people and people moving about. But we also make no mistake that we are centrally located in Namibia's economic capital and economic heart. So the connection to the investor, the connection to business people and corporate people is really, really central to us, because we serve an economic element, to the rest of the country. So it is also looking at and serving a business guest as much as we serve fundamentally Namibian locals.
Yeah. So what type of experience do you want we as your Namibian clients or your international clients to live with when we come to Avani?
When we look at everything that we do, we really guide in terms of what the guest experience is really going to be like, from the time that they imagine that they are looking for a hospitality need to be filled. So whether they are looking for a hospitality need to be filled in the casino, whether they are looking for a hospitality need to be filled in the restaurants, or whether they are looking for a hospitality need to be filled as far as rooms and accommodation is concerned. So right from there, the seamless element to which bookings should be made, and the seamless element to which on the internet we put our hands up and say, yes, we're here to serve you, to the time that we start imagining that the customer has made a decision that they will be coming to us, is the imagination of how we're going to welcome them. So as you get welcomed, we're really looking for small elements that are different. So it can be as simple as a welcome drink. Every other hotel would do a normal orange juice, but we see the need to do something different, even just with those small details. So small details that matter, that are different to any experience. To the time that you enter into a room, it must be seamless, it must be clean to the detail, but it must also be comfortable. So we're looking for elements that are continuously elevating the experience. When it comes to food, we're not just looking as far as food that can be cooked and that can be prepared and be placed so that somebody will stop being hungry. We're really looking to, in that food element, to have a story that guides the experience. So it's not just a steak which is just placed there. It is just really the story behind the steak. It has to be the best steak that you have ever eaten, and makes a mark into as far as your experience is concerned. And that goes throughout the entirety of what we offer. It's an experience where you are able to connect, have a moment, and in that environment have great service that comes to you. And hence why we're number one on TripAdvisor, and we're number one hotel in the city today, and one of the best certainly in the country.
I love that. Sticking to you being number one, are there any exclusive amenities that these properties have to offer? I mean, I would assume the exclusivity here is top notch, hence you're number one.
Exclusivity is really around service elements, but when it comes to amenities, the fact that we are centrally located has got a portion of seamlessness that's very different, that other hotels can't replicate. Centrally located, ready to do business, or ready to allow you to go and experience the rest of the country. But it's also in the rooms that we have got, large space rooms where guests can really relax, and if you're coming here for business, you can have a real great experience.
All right, so when it comes to trends, what have you seen that your clients are looking for in a hotel? Perhaps in this hotel, maybe trends that you have seen that hotel lovers are just generally looking. They say, no, a hotel, if I'm staying at this type of hotel, it should be X and X and X. So what are the trends in the hotel business right now?
There are obviously the other aspects where there's a sustainability element to it. Where do we source our food? What do we contribute to the rest of the community that we serve in? What do we contribute, and how do we see ourselves contributing to the economy? So in that element is really looking for things that will matter to the guest. It's looking for details that matter, not looking to do too much which doesn't matter or doesn't connect to them, but really looking as far as the details that matter to them most, which usually is a great place that's clean, great food, which they haven't experienced elsewhere, great service and human interactions that are real and genuine, and around great people in great spaces. And those are things that we're looking at, to serve every single one of our guests.
And finally, Mr. TK, what's next?
Make no mistake, we're graciously ambitious. As a company, or as a holding company, as My.na International, we operate in over 560 hotels around the world. Namibia is particularly attractive as far as an investment destination. not to be biased, maybe being Namibian, I'm going to call it the best country to do business as far as the world is concerned, with the highest level of potential. The potential is not just in terms of the oil and gas prospects that the country is we believe is going to experience over the next 10 years, which is going to radically change what Namibia looks like. It's not just in our uranium or diamonds, but I think the real value of our country is really our people, and a people that's ready to serve, a people that's friendly, a people that's aspirational. So with that element of aspirational is that we want to expand beyond the one property that we've got. In Namibia, we've been operating in Namibia as My.na International for 10 years. We've got a reputation in the country. We are number one hotel in the city in Windhoek. And with that is a business case to be able to manage other properties. But of course, it has to be the right deal that has got a right return on investment, and it has got to be with the right partners who not only share an ambitious drive from a financial standpoint, but share certain common values as far as serving Namibians and serving our local economy and seeing a contributive factor to where we stand. And that's really what we're looking for, the right deal where we share the right values and we can contribute together.
All right, Mr. TK, thank you so much for joining us on My.na Property. We wish you more business.
Thank you so much. We hope to welcome you guys again. And it's such a pleasure having you and having this conversation and being able to share what's happening in our city, especially from an Avani FinTech perspective. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, we will be right back. Stick around. They say that news is to the mind what sugar is to the body. In this segment, we bring you property news, trends, and property developments.
A Rundu woman claims she was left in the dark after allegedly paying a contractor $25,000 in 2023 for an electricity connection that was later deemed illegal by Northern Regional Electricity Distributor. Shiave Mwengere told Network Media Hub this morning that the contractor, who identified as working with NORAD, arrived at her house in uniform and used what appeared to be NORAD equipment. They convinced me it was a joint process with NORAD, she said. The connection functioned until March 2025, when NORAD officials reportedly disconnected her power, calling it illegal. She has since opened a police case. The contractor, John Kudumo, acknowledged receiving the payment, but insists he acted as a subcontractor under the guidance of a registered NORAD agent. In an interview yesterday, "I never acted alone. The quotation was approved and NORAD staff were aware," he said.
Okay, from there the men, next day they came and put the prepaid meters. So they came with 4 prepaid meters. The 4th one was old like the one I'm having in my house. Then I asked him, "Why are you giving me the old one if I paid the full amount?" They said, "No, you don't need, no need. It's also as long as the power is on." I said, "Don't provoke me, please. I'm sick." Yeah, then they put the 3rd one, the 4th one. Tate Kudumo, the one who gave the account where I paid money, said, "I'm waiting for Nkuru. My colleague will come." They came with already. His name is Williams, and I'm still having his number. He came to bring the 4th one, then they put there. From there, 203, we started buying electricity with my client normally until 205. On the 21st of March is when Tate Nekondo came, Mr. Nekondo from Ngwediva, and another guy in Norwich. They came that your connection is illegal. Then I said, "How come illegal? People came from Norwich and they have the proof. The proof payment is there. The person who did it is this one. I have his number. You can still call him." They called him. He confirmed. Yeah. From there, they switched off my electricity. Why should you switch off my electricity? Yeah, I did not commit any crime. The person is there. The deal was done. If it was illegal, that is your job in the office. It was done in your office.
We came, we saw, and we definitely conquered. This has been another fantastic edition of My.na Property. We'll see you next week, same time at a different venue, only on NTV.